just like that, holiday is over. Holiday is over. Get back to work. And it's time to get back to work, people. Hey, put some food on your table because you know the family needs it. A brand new day is here, and it's our job to make sure that you segue into the work mode real nice and easy.
Yeah, let's get the work week started already. Good morning, and welcome to the breakfast show for all Nigerians and abroad. And the white
we don't discriminate.
Yeah, we don't discriminate.
Everybody.
So wherever you are in the world, welcome to the best breakfast show on Nigerian television.
Absolutely. We have something for absolutely every single person, tailored just for you and you and you, everybody out there, because we know the importance of having a bright and early start, a very good start, especially as work resumes today for Tuesday, the most productive day of the week.
Yes, and we love to help you set the right tone for the rest of the week. But before we proceed, we would like you to know how the Easter holiday went. How was your holiday?
I was working on Friday and on Monday.
You!
You! We should be asking you how it went, because you had
I had
the opportunity to enjoy it.
Yes, I did. I actually had a very restful weekend and holiday. Let's ask Mike, isn't it?
Mike, my fellow brethren who was working here all week. How was your holiday?
It's, at least for the sake of a road, it's always good to walk during holidays. At least the roads are free. It was Friday yesterday. It was quite good to move around.
Friday was very different. Friday was
so what
was a
happens is
weekday.
that people are maybe moving out of Lagos or something
Yeah.
and trying to get stuff around. But yesterday was a little bit on the chill side.
Just a little.
But hey, this morning, the cars are back on the road.
Yes, they are.
I'm not looking forward to that one, especially on this axis. If you're on the third axial road, hey, if you're not out early, we hate to
Well,
be you.
I don't like it, trust me.
In any case.
Yeah. Well, his name is Mazino Apil.
And she is Chief MM Ime Okoche.
Oh, thank you so much for the recognition. Very well.
Small that I give you now, you carry around. Welcome. Listen, if you're watching us on channel 27 on GoTV or UHF 49 on terrestrial. Follow us on social media. We are at TBC Connect. Do remember.
You could also watch the show, like past previous episodes of the show on YouTube. Mazino, look at what you're doing. We are at tvcentertainment.tv. Do not forget to send in those comments to all our socials using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria.
Yes, indeed. So let's kickstart everything here with telling you what's coming up. Health will be up shortly, and joining us to discuss signs of dyslexia is adults is Dr. Adrienne Tikolo. She's a certified medical practitioner with years of experience in the medical field. For an exciting performance, we are going to be having singer-songwriter and also performing artist Zainab Abdullahi, popularly known as Azina. Now, she'll be here to perform her latest track, currently making waves, titled Enough. It have do.
For parenting, we have Ambassador Babatunde Kayode, a teens transformational coach, and we will be talking about parenting and societal sanity.
And finally, joining us for an interesting conversation, we have online sensation Etubo Chicken, the chicken catcher actually, popularly known as Amia's dad on Twitter. Stick around as he'll be letting us in on what it entails to become a successful online comedian and influencer in 2020. Oh, look at that, there they are. Pretty girl.
Right.
Welcome. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Good to have you here.
Very well. What a morning I've had. I've had like 6 mornings in one morning.
What happened?
already.
I heard you were here and then there and then here and then there.
Well, at least I'm here.
Now.
But the good part is, on the way here, I was listening to Debbie and Mark on the Max Breakfast Show on 102.3 Max FM. And they were sharing something interesting in their Naija corner about Kofo Abayomi. You know,
The
we
street
hear,
in VI.
Yes, we hear about that street in VI, but we don't even know the story behind it. Apparently, he was born Kofo John, like Koforola John. And then he fell in love with Oyinkan Abayomi. Oyinkan Abayomi was married to a lawyer who was assassinated. His name was Abayomi, his surname, Barrister Abayomi. Now, the twist here is she loved her husband so much. They were married for just about 3 months, 14 days. So she loved him so much, she refused to remarry. And then this man comes, I love you, I love you, I love you. And she says, okay, there's a condition. You have to take my late husband's surname.
Wow.
And believe it or not, that is how we came about Koforola Abayomi.
That's a very interesting piece
Like,
of
it
trivia.
wasn't even a case of Kofo John Abayomi.
Two
Kofo
things.
Abayomi.
How did that thing put pockets in my money? Number one. Number two, don't say we. You did not know. You don't know what other people know. Thank you.
But would you, but would you, for any case whatsoever, actually take somebody else's name? Not even their father's name.
Yeah, not their
the
father's
late
name, but their late
husband's
husband's name.
And
It
a
depends.
man. And for a man.
And because she
An
And he was a
loved the man.
successful man. Don't think because the woman is wealthy. Yes, we have Oyinka Abayomi Drive, but Kofo Abayomi was also super successful. He's actually the first private practitioner to be the president of Nigeria Medical Association.
So now I'm saying,
Very
I'm ready to tell somebody that, say somebody, for instance, now, DJ Copy. You just meet DJ Copy now, they say you should take her son name. How you answer?
We are not talking about that. We are not talking about that. We are
Hold on. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michael Otedola.
He has started bearing their father's name.
Hold on.
Priming for it.
Second of his name. My wife is DJ Copy. The original Otedola.
I don't know what can we talk about this after, because I think I need to think about it. After he's talking about $10 now, it can't be like, see.
Oh, God, you will take. Imagine Elumelu or something.
I am
Our
tired.
director is saying he'll take Elumelu.
Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. I am Mary Bashua Alimi. Now we begin in Zamfara State, where the police have killed 2 suspected armed bandits, while others fled with possible gunshot wounds. Police spokesperson in the state, Mohammed Shehu, in a statement said the tactical operatives repelled the attack by gunmen who attempted to invade another community near Wanzamai village, where several persons were kidnapped over the weekend. The Zamfara Police Command also promised to collaborate with sister agencies to improve security in the state against the resurgence of banditry and other related crimes. Away from that, the Zamfara state government says it will not succumb to pressure by bandits to withdraw military personnel deployed to Wanzamai and other troubled areas in the state. Now, the state commissioner for security, Mama Safe, insisted that bandits cannot intimidate the government to change its security plans. This development comes after reports revealed that abductors of some women in Wanzamai village in Safe local government area are demanding ransom for their release. There have been conflicting figures of kidnapped persons. Residents believe more than 80 persons were kidnapped, but the police insist only 9 persons were abducted. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari will on Tuesday embark on an 8-day state visit to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where he is expected to perform Umrah, the lesser pilgrimage. In a statement signed by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president will travel to Saudi Arabia on an official visit from Tuesday, April 11 to April 19 on his last trip to the kingdom as president. Shehu said the president will be accompanied by his aides. It marks his 6th and last visit to the kingdom since assuming office in May 2015. Right now, we have to take a break. Thank you so much for listening to Wake Up Nigeria News. We'll be back in a bit.
And you're welcome. It's time for What's Up and About. It's Mazino Appeal, Mary Bashwa Alimi, of course, MM Ikoche, and Mike Otedola.
Nice one. That is new nickname. He would love it. He's waiting for his granddaughter to
All right, so let's talk about this. I lied. Yes, and it's time to let me tell you guys the truth. That was not me. That was Basketmouth. Basketmouth was up on the show, and he talked about the fact that he had lied to make certain, conditions flow freely. He was talking about his the state of his relationship with what's his name, AY, the comedian.
Oh,
If you remember, AY was on Today's show where he revealed that he and Basketmouth were not on good terms because of certain amounts of money that was supposed to be paid because of certain conditions.
30,000 naira.
Now,
30 silver coins.
Basketmouth has come out to tell that was never the case. That was not even the issue, and that was even forgotten. He didn't even remember that. It was never about that. Fact, he said, was that they were never friends, and he didn't consider him one to even invite for certain functions like his wedding and all, but that he had heard certain things about him, gave him the opportunity to prove himself, and he did. He went on and on. However, one strong phrase that he used was, a snake will only shed its skin to become a bigger snake. There are very many preferences to this situation here, AYs and basketballs, and everybody else's. Everybody's putting mouth here, local parlance, putting mouth here, putting mouth there. I don't know what you guys think about it. I'm going to save mine, perhaps maybe if I get the chance for last. But about the situation as it currently is, the quagmire it has become, what do you think?
What do you think?
Talk to Otedola.
Michael Tedola.
Okay, you don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. I will take all the time and talk.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, but well, what's the deal really? Is there really any deal? At least so far, for as far as we know, we actually, like he said, or like Basketball said, we've not seen them together in a picture, you know. So they've not been, in quotes, chummies or friends online or whatever, maybe behind and all of that. And if they want to tell their truths, they tell their truths. It's fodder, it's for the people.
Yeah.
It's making the news to talk about and all of that. And, you know, but something he said, and maybe, you know, he said, look, we were never friends. He said, you go online, you don't see any picture. I've never invited him to my house. He's never invited me to his house. I've never said, let's hang out. So the whole thing of, so people, there's that aspersion that, okay, maybe they were close before and then there was a beef. No, they were never.
So they always,
according to what he said,
story. The one party side,
The other
party side,
and the main
and then the
story.
truth. So everyone has their angle of saying things. They were probably, as Basketball said, never friends. But there's also the possibility that AY maybe thought at some point they would eventually be friends. But that incident for him was what killed the possibility of friendship. Meanwhile, on Basketball side, that incident was just one of those things because he never really considered him a friend. So at the end of the day, it's one of everybody looking at it from a different angle. This is where I stand, 9 or 6. It depends on your angle. That's the way I see it.
You know what I think?
Please tell.
Think it's time, maybe we could even invite them on the Wake Up Nigeria show. AY, Basketmouths, come and say what it is that really transpired between the both of you. Because really, they are not sharing much. This one is saying, okay, yes, there are 3 sides
The
to the
information
story.
is still very
but
sparse.
exactly,
Especially
there is
from
still
Basketball.
more to the
There's plenty that he's
story.
not
There is more to it. Can they already reveal the kind of worms?
But, let me jump on that and say, I
They
don't
must
think that they
reveal it.
need to reveal anything. I think that this was a situation that came about because Chude had an interview with AY where it was supposed to be all revealing. I think in relationships, you and I relate in a certain kind of way, you and I relate in a certain kind of way. Unfortunately, most relationships have this miscommunication where the way you see our relationship is different from the way I see our relationship. Now, if somebody else, a third party, comes and says, but Mary says that you are his best friend, and I'm like, no, we're colleagues, and that's it.
Exactly.
It's going to go awry.
Yeah.
You're not like, Mazino, but I thought we're chummy, that kind of thing. And that's what's happening here.
Yes.
The way AY thought of
him
Basketball
was different
is
from
different
the
from
way
the
he
way
thought
Basketball.
of him. So that's
Basketball was
what
giving
it
an individual just an opportunity.
We're all looking
AY
at
was
this
like, we're
from-
chums.
We are all
and
looking
of
at
that.
this from different angles because, to be
So,
honest, they are both in the
let me
same
finish,
industry.
I believe that
so-
this matter should never have become media fodder
At all.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, Jude was doing his job, but it went that way, and everybody's talking about it, and it's rehashing emotions.
Basketball
feelings,
even went as far as
Basketball
saying that it's
also,
because
yeah.
he was trying to promote AY Live, which took place on Sunday already.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is just a big bowl of
Yeah.
kind of, worms that really
That's
should
what
just
really
stay.
yeah, because if you're not saying it,
Because
let
it's
it
just going to
go.
get worse.
Right.
Perhaps
Just
this might be the
leave it
last
to God.
time we will talk about it, because I think it
Yeah.
should just be let be. Just leave it alone, and I'm sure that they will find a way to make
Don't
sure
leave
that
it alone.
they're
Reveal
okay.
the card already.
Like,
This is just like she likes
I will
violence.
be right back, people. Stay with us. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit.
It's Tuesday morning and, of course, time for health. And this morning, we're discussing signs of dyslexia in adults. Dr. Adrian Tikolo is our guest this morning, a certified medical practitioner with years of experience in the medical field. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, just for those that maybe didn't tune in last week and don't understand, what exactly is dyslexia?
All right, so thank you. Dyslexia is a specific learning difficulty or a learning difference that impacts your ability to learn to read, write, and spell. and as well as comprehension, organization, or attention. But it also has a lot of strengths as well. So
Okay.
they're also very creative and intuitive.
Is this something people can grow out of?
No, you can't grow out of being dyslexic. It's inherited. So like the color of your eyes or the texture of your hair, you can't grow out of it. But you can overcome a lot of the difficulties that might come with it. Yeah.
All right, and so now we're talking about it in adult. So that means that these people have come to is it possible that you can be dyslexic as an adult and you don't know?
Oh, absolutely. Thousands and thousands of people are dyslexic and they don't even know that they're dyslexic. In adults, I usually say that they're different species, you know, because they found different strategies around some of the difficulties. But usually they will find that they struggled in school as a child. They remember struggling in school. They would usually still have difficulty with reading a different type of font style, for instance. And they have to read text or sentences over and over to comprehend what they're reading. Oftentimes you find that they also have difficulty putting their ideas down on paper, even though they have good ideas. And so they might employ like their spouse or their friend or their colleague to help them with writing.
With writing?
Yes. They also have difficulty with spelling. And they usually have strategies around how to remember how to spell a word. So for instance, like business, they might think of it as bossiness, so that then it helps them remember how to spell it.
How to spell it?
Exactly.
So I would, for me as a kid, when they have this kind of symptoms and it's not diagnosed correctly, I would blame maybe the guardians or the adults or the wards around them. But then growing older and then coming into terms with this and not understanding what exactly is wrong with you, how does an adult move forward? Maybe after finding out, okay, I am actually dyslexic. After a while, after not knowing that this is why I had these challenges, then growing up, I mean, a kid, you would want to compare kids, why are you not smart in school and all of that, not knowing that this was a hereditary condition or something that had caused this. But then as an adult, you've come to terms with it. How do you move forward?
All right, so I have to say dyslexics are intelligent people, very intelligent. In fact, they have average to high intelligence. So dyslexia does not affect your intelligence.
Okay.
And so they literally can do anything they want to do. I think the most important thing is to really find out that you are dyslexic, that is, if you have an assessment done. And then you play to your strength. There's a lot of technology that can help you with your difficulty. So if you have difficulty reading, you can use text-to-speech software, speech-to-text, and all of that. But play to your strength. They're usually very creative, problem solvers, thinkers outside the box. They have good spatial awareness. And so you can use all of these things, build on your strength as an adult. So help yourself, with your difficulties, find what helps. If you're not good at reading, find someone to teach you how to read better. Use a software or use a reading pen or a scanning pen, But the most important thing is recognize that you're smart, you're intelligent, and you are here to contribute to society. So where is your strength? Where does it lie? And play to your strength.
Apart from, the difficulty with reading and comprehension sometimes, are there other ways that, or other forms that this dyslexia actually shows up in adults? Are there other forms?
Oh, absolutely. In memory, for instance, they usually forget things, so they can forget directions, they can forget instructions, they can forget things in a sequence, so they have difficulty with memory. They can also have difficulty with organization. And so around them, their things might be disorganized, their home, their space. They might get easily distracted, so noise and, other things distract them easily. It's also possible that, to begin a task might be difficult, especially one that has to do with writing. How do I start? Where do I start? And then time management as well. Sometimes they're not very good at managing their time. So other things. A lot of
people are trying to think, which of these symptoms do I exhibit? Maybe try to place themselves there. But do you have to have all of this to diagnose yourself, or do you need to go to a professional to make sure that you get a correct diagnosis?
Thank you. I would say, look, if you find that you have a cluster of the signs, you can't say you have dyslexia or you're showing the signs from just one sign, but you have a cluster of it. If you struggle with reading and writing when you were younger, if you still struggle now, if you're slow at reading, if it takes you time to comprehend, if you have to read over and over again, so if you have a cluster of the signs together, then do get an assessment. I think that's important. Don't self-diagnose.
Don't self-diagnose?
Yes, because there are several areas to dyslexia. We want to find your strengths and your weaknesses so that you can play to your strength.
We have someone, of course, one of the most famous dyslexics is Richard Branson, who was able to overcome it and do all of that. So we're trying to say that, look, in spite or despite this other thing, people like Ken Reeves, Tom Cruise, you can still be on top, or you can still get to the pinnacle of whatever career you choose.
Absolutely. 1 in 5 persons is dyslexic. So all of them there, we have
1
exactly...
in 5?
Yes.
20% of
20%,
humanity
yes,
is dyslexic.
Yes.
At different levels, right?
Yes.
They're all not at the same level.
Yes. So you have mild to severe, but you could have mild
There's some
dyslexia,
people
but you
that
still be
you may
dyslexic.
have just 1% dyslexia or something. It's just a joke. But yeah, you have it in very
Yeah, so it
degrees and
varies
all of
in
that.
degrees, yes. It's
Oh,
on a
okay.
spectrum.
20%.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, because they're so smart and they come with all of the skills that are required, they're also very good people, very intuitive, very sensitive, so very emotional. They're usually very honest as well, because you know they're more in tune to the right side of their brains.
I have a colleague that's very honest like that, and the way she does things,
So
she
you
can
see?
be very. Sometimes she can be candor, like you said. Why do they have to? Why do they have to be honest?
Well, the thing is that the brain controls literally everything about
Okay.
us. And
Okay.
so you have the right side and the left side of the brain. But the right side of the brain is usually more in tune with your emotions, your sensitivity, you know, your intuition. And that's the part that really helps us stay attuned to our humanity. So yes, they have a tendency to be more honest, you know, to be sincere, to be open, to be warm, none of that. In fact, they have the skills that is required in the workplace, if I may say so.
Oh, wow.
And if you see, even now, LinkedIn has approved dyslexic thinking as an employable skill, because they do come with all of those strengths. Yes, absolutely.
Now, that's quite something. Thank you so much, Doctor, for this expose. At least a lot of people understand that they don't have to be ostracized, as it were. But then they can still have dyslexia and be the best at whatever they choose.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you
It's a
so
pleasure.
much. Thank
All
you.
right, now that's it on health this morning. Let's head over to the kitchen to check what's happening there.
Yes, today we have Chef Georgette, and this morning we're going to be preparing something really fantastic, something that will whet your appetite, something that will definitely make you feel like you should be in the studio this morning. Chef Georgette, thank you so much for joining us. What's for breakfast?
Well, this is actually not breakfast, but this is heavy. This is afang.
Afang soup.
Soup, yes.
Okay. Be it heavy or not, this is Africa. We eat different things for breakfast. Some of us start the day with fufu.
Yes,
Some of us start it with semo. So this one, I think afang is something you can just eat without adding anything.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, so that makes it
vegetable,
breakfast because
yeah.
it's vegetables, see?
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the ingredients. What are we making use of?
Okay, so we have our protein here,
Okay, what protein is this? Goat meat?
cow leg.
Cow leg, okay. So we have cow leg,
Then we have periwinkle.
periwinkles, okay.
This is the one with the shell.
Okay, there are some there's something in it.
Yeah, because it's already cooked.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So a lot of people don't know how to eat this. So
Okay.
that's why we have this.
This as well, okay,
Yes.
okay.
So you have the pomo,
Okay, okay,
your palm oil,
all right,
crayfish,
okay.
dry fish, stockfish. Then mix. Why I like mixing my bell pepper, because this actually has its flavor.
Oh, so the yellow Scotch bonnet has its
Yes,
own flavor, the
flavor,
red
yes.
one as well, okay.
Then your seasoning.
Okay.
And this is the afang leaf.
Afang leaf itself,
Yes.
okay. And then, of course,
Seasoning
salt.
and salt.
What vegetable is this?
This is your water leaf.
Water leaf. So we have water leaf and afang leaves. That's what is used to make the soup. Okay. I'm actually curious about something.
Okay.
Do we need to have both types of crayfish?
In fact, you can even add
Different types again?
Yeah,
Okay.
more
So-
than this.
Oh, so crayfish is part of
Yes.
what actually enhances the flavor
Yes.
of the soup. Now, are we going to debone this or we're going to cook it whole like that?
Depending on you,
Okay.
whoever that is cooking.
Okay.
Yes, but on this, I'm going to debone it.
You're going to debone it?
Yes, it's already cooked.
Okay.
But you can as well. put
So
it-
how did you cook it? You just boiled it in hot water?
no, first
and
of
salt?
all, yes, you clean it with your salt.
Okay.
Then use an
You clean it with salt?
Yes.
That means you use the salt to
iron,
scrub it?
iron sponge.
An iron sponge, okay.
Because it comes with a lot of sand.
Okay,
So to avoid that, you need to use your salt and take it off.
okay.
Yeah.
Then after that, you'd then boil
Boil
it
it,
in
yes.
ordinary water
No,
or
you can
salted
still
water.
spice it.
You can still spice it?
Yes.
So did you spice this one?
Yes.
What did you put in it?
Then you have your seasoning, your pepper,
Oh, really?
and your secret ingredient.
What's the secret ingredient? Every chef has a secret ingredient, to the point that I'm like, okay, at this point, we might have to patronize Chef Georgia to try her afang soup because of the secret ingredient. All right, let's get started. Run us through the process. What's the cooking process like?
Okay.
The ingredients are currently on your screen, by the way. So run us through the process.
Okay, first of all, you have your
Vegetables
protein.
washed, okay.
Yes, your protein goes in
Oh,
first.
okay.
Yes.
With oil or just water?
No, just your protein. In most cases, instead of using water, you use
Okay.
the stock.
The stock, okay. Okay.
But it has to be very mild, because the water leaf produces water.
Yes.
So you have to be conscious of the stock.
Okay.
So you don't have excess. And your stock is already seasoned.
Okay.
So you have to also be conscious of your seasoning, so
Yeah.
you don't have excess.
You are putting
No, it's
Not everything.
She's just going on.
What's happening, guys?
Could you stop? Welcome back to the kitchen. Chef Georges is out at work, and I've been having Mike and Mazino harass me.
we're
That's the
policing
word. Like,
this food.
so, Chef Georges, run us through the process so far. What have we been doing?
Thank you so
Okay, these are my veggies. I have my protein in.
Okay. That's the first thing you put in.
Yes.
You barely put in water. I don't think I noticed you put in water, just a
It
little.
depends. It depends on
Preference.
No, the
Okay.
economy. You watch your pocket.
Oh, so you can make it
But
watery
actually, the
afang.
rich ones, you don't need that water.
You don't need water, okay. But if you are, of course, as she said, if you're trying to be economical, it's not a bad idea to use water to make it watery so it can last longer. You get the idea. Okay, so you put in the protein first.
Yes.
With the periwinkles,
Yes,
the
I just-
shell,
Yes.
the one still in the shell, and then you put in the water leaf.
Yes, the water leaf.
So are you putting in more water leaf?
I will.
Okay. So after the water leaf, this is the
Okazi or afang.
okazi or afang. Okay, so this is what it looks like.
Yes.
So how did it get to this point?
Well, depending, you can use your food processor.
Okay.
Yes, but actually I pounded it.
You pounded the slope.
That's how we do it. You get the mortar, you get the pestle, and
can
boom,
get
boom,
that.
boom, boom.
You cook?
Yeah, I did. We used to grow water leaves growing up. So we had this bed in front of our house.
Okay.
We had like 4 or 5 beds. So we used to grow it.
Nice.
So and whenever we're taking afang, we always get the water leaf from what
You know,
we grow.
most times I always forget that you're from that part of the country.
Yeah.
Well, you know, even in Lagos, it's actually
So
possible.
we used to grow it. So and it's a staple. So and we loved, it's cool to eat what you grow. It has this, I don't know, it has this apart
Fulfilling
from
feel.
exactly, that's just it. Apart from the health benefits and all of that, but it's good to grow what you eat or eat what you grow.
So just outside our house, just as in our house, we have water leaf growing on it.
Till
So
now.
sometimes we go to pluck some.
And then at times-
across, we have bitter leaf. So it's always amazing
At
to
times,
see
water
all
leaf
these
is like
things just
weed.
growing around.
At times it's,
Yeah.
not, it's very easy to grow. At times it
that's
just grows.
Very easy, it just grows on its own sometimes.
Tell you guys what, I have a job to do. I have to go start the next hour. So, toodles.
Yeah.
Wahala, wahala, wahala. Let's finish the cooking. Chef Georgette will definitely finish up with this. At the end of the show, you'll see the end product. Until then, though, do stay with us. We've reached the end of the first hour. You're watching Wake Up Nigeria.
Dancing. It's too early to be dancing. It's a Tuesday morning, man. Everything's everything's like, come on.
This is serious.
Too serious. But I can bust a move, a small one.
Oh, did you see Israel? I did something that one.
Yeah, I did. And
The
I
guy was
love Israel because
moving.
while he sounds so pristine and everything, he breaks it down sometimes as he like Obo Yoruba.
I love it.
Very
Love
representative
it.
of Nigeria. It's so
Oh,
good.
nice.
It's nice.
And a huge
In any case,
congratulations to him as well.
welcome. Second hour here for the breakfast show that you guys have come here to see. Is that not why you're here? Are you not entertained? Yeah.
Are you done?
Gen Zs will have no idea what I just did.
We work hard to make a significant first impression, but we also hope that the next less than 45 minutes gives you the genuine satisfaction
Yes,
that we are hoping to give you here on the show.
We are aiming to be satisfied ourselves with what's happening inside the kitchen. That
Man.
afang soup. You're also from that part of the country.
That is actually my favorite soup, actually.
No, it's gonna be a
I
battle
love
royale.
afang soup, and hey, with you all, it's going to be a fight. So
You should have seen us yesterday. We all pounced on the food after the show because
What food was that?
We had epan koko yesterday.
Re-
You know what, Mazino? I think we, the Ibibios, that's, you know, we actually have, you know, some of the best Nigerian food.
I agree with you.
Right.
I agree with you.
We do.
Yeah.
We make good food.
Tell you guys what, we'll be letting you guys know exactly what's coming your way in just about a bit. Do remember now you can see us on channel 27 and 49 for UHF. If you are watching us now, perhaps that's how you're doing it. You can also follow us on social media. We're at TVC Connect.
Do not
That's
forget to use the
TVC Connect.
hashtag.
Hashtag is what, please?
Wake Up Nigeria, guys. Do not forget to use the hashtag on TVC.
Wake Up Nigeria
and-
on TVC.
All right, great. All right, now let's let you in on what we have for the next 45 minutes, right? We also have our musical performance from singer-songwriter and performing artist Zainab Abdullahi. She is known as Azina, and she'll be throwing us later on.
For parenting, Ambassador Babatunde Kayode, a teens transformational coach, parents, teens, relationship and mental health advocate, will be here to discuss parenting and societal sanity.
Finally, joining us for an interesting conversation, we have online sensation Etubo Chicken Catcher, popularly known as Amia's dad on Twitter. Stick around because he'll be letting us in on what it entails to become a successful online comedian and influencer.
People always get that pronunciation wrong. It's actually Amaya.
Amaya.
Amaya. And
Oh.
what made me know it was because I saw the spelling one day and I related it to this cartoon character. I'm trying to remember that one that the children turn into lizard and why can't I remember? It's very popular.
Turn into lizards.
Yeah.
Oh, PJ Maxx.
PJ Maxx, yes.
Never heard of it.
Amaya is the girl. in
Amaya.
PJ
Oh,
Maxx.
yeah.
Yes. Amaya. So that's
Yeah.
actually the correct pronunciation.
Ah, Maya.
I think it depends. If you want to call it whatever you want to call it as a parent, you're free.
She's
right.
Amaya is the owl.
Yeah, she's
Female
a
in
woman.
PJ Maxx.
Talking about
So
names.
yeah, I want to talk about, yeah.
Yeah, names and what we started from before when Mike said that. I've had time to consider it. Would I take my wife's name as mine, surname? I think there are very many factors that would have to, that would depend on. First of all, I think Mr. Kofo Abayomi, eventually, had nothing to lose. And I mean that by this. He was successful, like he said. He had nobody that he needed to please, no family member saying, how dare you? It is never done. Guy was okay. Like, what was that? I beg you, I love you, let's do it, Jerry. That's it. Will I do it? I will consider all those things, including the how much parts.
Yeah,
You know.
but one other thing I just want to mention was when we talk about success, as much as we decry the status of of society where young people are doing everything to get that Benz, to get that stuff, at the back of our mind, subconsciously, we always still equate money with success.
Yeah.
So we just always think that, oh, he's successful. Why? Because he has money. So, I mean, there are different ways people have made money. They've been born into money. They've been influential. I mean, I remember when they always said, oh, someone was talking about listing things, how to be a CEO at 30, you know, wake up every morning, da, 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 da. And the guy spoke about how he, you know, and then the last he said, my mother owns the company.
Nah. Why did he save that for last?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you know
So
something
I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that we should all know that
Yeah,
success
but you know-
differs, and our definition of success should not just be based
Another
on possession.
angle to look at it is, can you let your children bear your wife's family's name? Because it's one thing to take the name. Now, I know of two scenarios. The first one has to do with a young man who, when he got married, still bearing his father's surname, but guess what? All his children bear his mother's family name. His dad is still alive. Now his mom is late, but she was alive when the children were born. People do things in honor of certain people. My mom is a Bashwa. My dad's surname is Alimi. When they got married, they had an understanding. And all four of us, we bear Bashwa Alimi.
I never
Yeah,
knew that
it's a
until
compound
today.
name.
That's
actually.
I never
it's actually
knew
So
that until
people
today.
do it for love. People do it because they care about to my mom, it
Yeah.
was really important.
Maybe I know of
to her.
families that actually do
And
that.
that's
Like they
how it
have a
came
compound
about.
name where they have their mother's name and then their father's
Yeah.
name.
What's their net worth?
So
You have to factor that in.
Yeah.
It's
If you
not
have a-
about net
I
worth.
just think it's
Wait,
for
calm
some
down.
people it's not
Wait,
about
calm
the
down,
net
calm
worth.
down.
Real quick, because we're out of time. Mike,
I've not heard that thing before. Compound names, you must have money. Because you know you hear compound name and they are broke.
Please don't come after me. Oh, don't mind Michael.
If you have a compound name and your family cannot afford to buy like 3 or 4 Benz,
For real.
change it from compound to yard name.
Mary, you're on team. We have to
Okay. All right, we're done with the oil, right? Are we done with the oil?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. Yeah, we're back here in the kitchen, and Chef Georgette is preparing afang soup for us. And let me know, what do you take afang with? Pounded yam, loy loy, aka fufu, aka akpu, or eba. What do you take it with? What's your favorite? What's your favorite to take with?
Fufu.com.
Your head is there, Chef Georgette. Your head is there. All right, but let's, from the last time that we were here, what else did we do? Let's let people know.
Okay, from your veggies, that's your water leaf.
You okay?
Yes, you add your palm oil.
Okay.
Then
But I see that the palm oil is not so much.
No.
I think people put varying degrees of palm oil as they would like it.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of people, you have to actually know your client or whoever you're serving.
You're serving, okay.
Yeah, some people react to palm oil.
Oh, okay.
Some people don't even eat palm oil.
They do. It's true.
So you
Very
can
true.
actually do white. But for me,
But no. I can't have do white afang now. Afang, palm oil is a very important part of it.
there's a way
yeah?
you do it, but less, very less.
Oh, okay, not so
Yes.
much. So this one, you did the less one.
No, this is full option.
Full option. Aha, because we like palm oil here, right? Okay. So what goes in now? Our crayfish is still here. Our stockfish head is still here, and our okporoko is also still here. When will those ones go in?
You're already in.
Oh, they're already in. So this one, okay, these ones are just the extra ones that you can still cook extra. You want to cook a fan, come and talk to me, dear. All the ingredients are still here. That's the one left. So everything is ready.
Yes.
Wonderful. And this is going to go with akpu. Oh my. Chef Georgette. Oh, God, they're just too much. All right. Okay. We still have a little bit. Okay, the seasoning cubes will go in. Okay. So this is about one of the last things. Did we have seasoning cube earlier?
Please, never you wash your seasoning,
Oh,
your
okay.
hands in the
Okay.
pot.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people
People,
do
they
that.
do it. They exactly now pour the water. They rinse their hand inside the pot. You can do. Chef George is now giving us a hygienic way to ensure that the cuisine is well cooked, and also you don't
cook it for too
pour
long, so
and wash germs into it.
It needs to remain green.
To remain green. Wonderful. I can't wait to get down with this. Get down on it. Get down on it. All right. That's it. That's what we have here. Let's head over. Mary has the news.
Mike dancing seriously because of food. Wow. Well, it's time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Mary Bashua Alimi. We begin in Zamfara State, where the police have killed 2 suspected armed bandits, while others fled with possible gunshot wounds. Police spokesperson in the state, Mohammed Shehu, said the tactical operatives repelled the attack by gunmen who attempted to invade another community near Manzamai village, where several persons were kidnapped over the weekend. The Zamfara Police Command also promised to collaborate with sister agencies to improve security in the state against the resurgence of banditry and other related crimes. Meanwhile, the Zamfara state government says it will not succumb to pressure by bandits to withdraw military personnel deployed to Wanzamai and other troubled areas in the state. The State's Commissioner for Security, Mamad Safei, insisted that bandits cannot intimidate the government to change its security plans. This development comes after reports revealed that abductors of some women in Wanzamai village in Safe local government area are demanding ransom for their release. There have been conflicting figures of kidnapped persons. Residents, on the one hand, believe more than 80 persons were kidnapped, but the police, on the other hand, insist only 9 persons were abducted. Away from that, President Muhammadu Buhari will on Tuesday embark on an 8-day state visit to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where he is expected to perform Umrah at the Lesser Pilgrimage. In a statement signed by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, the president will travel to Saudi Arabia on an official visit from Tuesday, April 11 to 19, on his last trip to the kingdom as president. Shehu said the president will be accompanied by his aides. It marks his 6th and last visit to the kingdom since assuming office in May 2015. And that's it on the news updates for today on Wake Up Nigeria. There is so much more to come. Just stay with us.
And we are back. Thanks for staying with us. I believe that a trained child, a child who is well trained is a reflection of a saner society. And on parenting today, we have Ambassador Babatunde Kayode, who is a teen transformational coach, parent-teens relationship, and mental health advocate. And today we'll be talking about parenting and societal sanity. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine.
Great. Let's dive right into the conversation. Parental and social sanity. Now, let's break it down to the role of parenting and how it reflects on the society at large.
Okay. So I love your opening. You said, I don't know if I will get it right, but the reflection of society is based on
How a child is
how a child is being trained. So the last time on the show, I mentioned that there are certain provisions that parents need to make aside material provision. And all this would, put together the roles and to build a total child. So when we say parenting and social sanity, we're saying that the sanity of a society is dependent on what goes on in the home. And what goes on in the home, excuse me, is largely vested on the parent and the process of parenting. So the kind of input you put into your parenting determines what the child will become, and what the child becomes to a large extent determines how sane the society will be.
I am not disputing what you have just said, but there are conversations that have come up where my opinion is I feel that sometimes there's so much responsibility given to our parents that takes away from even our individual responsibilities, whether as a child or as an adult.
Okay.
Right? I feel that it's just my opinion, right? Because I feel like we all play a role. We all have a collective role to play in regards to having a saner society. Now let's break down some of those roles. Now, taking away from the materials that you have mentioned, what are those critical roles that parents should play in how their children turn out in life?
Okay, I love the fact that you said that parents are said to have a lot of roles, but then we cannot deny the fact that parenting is serious business. It's a full-time, I call it a full-time job. And what I tell people is if you're not ready to raise a child, don't do what would make you get a child. Okay, so parenting is the base for a standard society, just like I said, and one of the major role is provision, basically. Okay, now you need to pay a lot of attention to your children. Now I know that there are a lot of things now that gets
Influences.
yes that gets the attention of the parents away. Maybe you're going to make ends meet and the rest of that, but then you cannot totally neglect your children, especially in this era where we find ourselves. I saw somebody mentioning Gen Z all the time. Okay, we cannot leave them at the mercy of society. There used to be a time where we had this extended family, vested with the responsibility of building the child. But now it has been broken down that it is just for the parent. Even some parents don't even want their children mixing up with other people. But then there are certain disadvantages to that, because you cannot do that alone. The parent cannot do that alone, but they would be the one to start that process.
Okay, now let's talk about this process that you're...
Okay, number one, paying attention to your children. And paying attention to your children would mean spending time with them. So the first question I would like to ask parents is, do you know your children? Now, apart from being a teens parent advocate, I teach in a school, high school, and we get to see a lot of issues like that. So there was something that happened very recently. A parent almost slapped me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because she had an issue with the boy, the child, in school, and she came ranting and all that. So I just went to her very calmly. I said, Ma, the rate at which you're treating your child's teachers in front of your child, how do you expect your child to see the teachers from now? And she told me to get out of her sight or else she's going to slap me. Now, what lesson would she be teaching that child? Now, how would that child relate to the teachers in class? How would that child relate to others? So that is just an outward expression of what goes on inside the house. So how would you expect that child to grow up respecting elders in the society? We have now, there was another one. Sorry, I'm just bringing these instances. I was speaking with a teenager recently, And then he told me that it was into internet fraud. A boy of 14.
A teenager.
Yes, a boy of 14.
Okay.
Okay, apart from other things he said. Now, he said he's even interning. Yes, he's interning with his phone. Now, the parents are not even aware of this.
Now, talking about phones, because there are so many vices that, children are exposed to right now on social media. How best can parents help to monitor the activities that go on with their children and their phones?
Thank you. So, I do not advocate that phones should be taken away from children. They are digital natives. They need this gadget to actually develop themselves. But the monitoring is where that comes in. So how do you monitor? Do you just give the phones to them? Do they have screen time? In my home, I have screen time. There are certain times when we don't use our phones. Okay.
What's your screen time?
Mine is 9.
After 9 p.m.?
Yes. After 9, I snooze.
Okay.
Except I have something very important to do.
Okay.
But then, for my kids, even for TVs, there's screen time. That is 1. 2, there's this, I'm trying to remember now, this Google facility that helps you to monitor what your child does on it. Yes. Not a lot of parents even know about that anyway. But then, if you're giving them this device, you should understand that they don't know how to control it. But then you need to step in. So, giving screen time is one of the ways to monitor. And then not just the screen time, but constantly call them to yourself and then explain to them some of the vices that is being done with these things. Help to educate them, because some of the education they get is online and from their friends. And of course, these kids want to feel among, they want to belong to certain cliques. So they tend to even listen to those more than you. So the place of creating a relationship with your children is very important. I've seen a case where a parent withdrew a phone from a child, and then the child went on to get another one without the notice of the parent. Yes, and doesn't even bring it home. He keeps it with a friend.
Wow. Okay, so I'll take away from what you have just said is parents need to pay extra attention to their children. Regardless of your busy schedule, pay attention to your kids. Thank you so much.
Sensation, a tuber chicken catcher. The lion himself is here.
Yeah, a tuber lion.
He's popularly known as Amia's dad, or is it Amaya's?
Amaya's dad.
Amaya's dad on Twitter. This is he. You are welcome. Good to have you here. Grand.
So we are not quite sure how to profile you, because on the one hand, you have your Twitter persona. And then in reality, we are seeing a gentleman. I don't understand.
Very gentle
As in you should hear him. Actually, you're going to hear him speak. First off, it's good to have you here. Tell us more about who a tuber lion is.
Real name Okikeola Olatubosun, and I was born in Lagos. My dad passed when I was 3. I schooled in Lagos, my primary school. I lived in Iseyin, Oyo State for 8 years, and then came back to Lagos, did my ND in Mapoli, Abeokuta, and then I traveled in 2015.
So you relocated in 2015?
Yes.
Right, so your story started from post-relocation.
Yes.
And that's where the chicken catcher thing happened.
What is that chicken catcher?
Chicken catcher?
What's chicken
I
catcher
should let
about?
you tell him, but I'm just going to summarize it for you because it's a very long story.
Okay.
So basically, it was a job he went for. And then what happened with the job?
It was just I saw an ad online saying they needed chicken catcher. And I was like, waiting be chicken catcher again. I mean, both people don't start because they just give names to different jobs. So I went there, I'm like, I want to, do this chicken catching job. The woman looked at me and like, I don't think you can do this job.
What was the job about?
That's what it's
just, I said, me, I can't catch chicken.
They catch chicken.
More do this thing. More
job when it's catch chicken.
So the woman said, okay, the interview was fast, and she said, come later tonight at 11 p.m. So I went back, and there was this bus waiting for me. It was filled with Mexicans. I'm like, you see, they happen.
No black person.
So I sat in, so I got in, and then they started driving, and we drove like 30 minutes.
You're not
and they started drinking all these energy drinks. I'm like,
getting ready for the chicken catching.
wait till they happen. So they were like, calm down, don't worry. Finally, we got there, and they opened this barn, and it was like, I've never seen that much chicken in my life.
Wow.
And they were this big. I'm like
turkeys, dinosaurs.
I asked this person like how many are these chickens? He said 33,000. I said, so who will pack all these chickens?
They said that's your
He
job.
said, that's your job. That's why
like
you are
your
here. I
boy.
said, mo ṣiṣẹ́ gbà o. Wetin be this? So they brought all these cages, so you have to start like picking all these chickens and throw them in the cage. Like I don't sure say I don't catch with 50. I just they shake, say guy, wetin dey happen? And these chickens we still get like over 30,000 or more. Long story short, Sha, now that day I fire myself, Sha, because
Did you get paid at least for that day?
no.
I said someone
Wow.
fired himself. How will he get
Wow.
Because I actually I tried. I almost died, but I tried. Like we finished that ban, and then they said let's go and eat. After we finished eating, so I was expecting us to leave. So they were like, all right, let's go. I say, where?
around.
Where are we going? He said, we are not done. That this is break.
Wow.
So these people want to see crazy today. So I followed them. They opened another barn, another 33,000 chicken. I said,
No.
no.
I'm not doing this again.
So that I just
Actually,
fired
you got
myself
free
that day.
food,
Wow.
So
But
that's the best part.
it's my food. It was my food.
It was your, you had to
even
bring
had
your
package.
food.
Yes.
So
So
how did you translate all of this into comedy, and how did that? I'm looking for the link here. How did you discover that I could do this comedy, especially online? How did that translate from there?
I just tweet whatever my brain tells me, and people just laugh at it. And sometimes I go back to read my tweets too, and it's funny to me sometimes, And I'm like, oh, boy, I found it small, Sha.
We've got a couple of them here. Mbappe,
Yeah.
you remember me? We used to play street football behind that church in Paris. Anyways,
Call
call
me.
me. It's
It's
me,
White
White
Lion.
Lion.
Escalate.
Eskele bebe, tiele bebe.
Amaya, yes, we're going to talk about Amaya. Amaya was like, Dad, there's blackout and the water heater isn't working. I want to take a hot shower. Ma worry, use
Ike.
Ibomisara and bucket. She said, what does that mean? I showed her everything. She was like, no, it shocked you.
So, Amaya, how did she come into the picture?
So, yeah, go ahead.
I adopted her when she, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when I met her, she was just this loving little baby, and we just created that bond, and it just went from there.
Is she here with you in Nigeria?
Yes.
Yes.
And and all this posting thing, it just started one day. I was just posting my content for people to see. And with time, she started people started falling in love, and most of the people that follow me actually they are part of our journey. They knew where it started. They knew Amaya when she was 1, when she was 2, when she was 3. Now she's 8.
Wow.
So it's been a long, and I appreciate people. She has a huge they call her president. I don't know why. I don't know what. I'm the father of the president. So I don't know why they call her president, but but the love we've received since we got here, it's been amazing.
You said you adopted her. Are you a single dad then? This is the story. Zoom in.
Okay.
Zoom in. So,
Personal. Too
personal. All right, we'll let that be. That be. Yes.
Yeah,
Now,
so, okay.
Please, sorry.
So
I was
was actually going to ask about the transition.
Yeah,
Most people think that Chicken Catcher is a fallout of the Amaya story. But few people realize that you actually had a persona.
Yes.
And Amaya was actually the side gig.
Yes,
She
yes.
was just the one you just mentioned. And then it now turned out to be like a really big deal.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
focusing on her.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the followers I have now, most of them just now joined. My previous account was Twitter took it when I was close to 100,000, and this one was opened 2021 or something. So they really do not know that.
The other personality.
Yes, even before Amaya, I was just this comedy writer, and Amaya was just
famous bonnet. I thought you were going to come with it. So it used to be
I
Amaya's
saw the
bonnet.
pictures,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's daddy.
So, I mean, she became part of it, and she just took everything away from, she just, the limelight and everything, she was just right in front. She did in front of me. Nobody did see me again, but no wahala.
Let's take a look at that bonnet. There it is.
Yes, that's the famous bonnet. He has different types.
That's nice. This is very relative to me because only just yesterday I put a post up on my social media, on my stories, Insta stories, of me giving my daughter Gary for the first time. And she was,
Gary for
yeah.
the first time.
It was the first time. I just felt like drinking Gary, and I'm like, I'm buying Gary today. And I had Gary and
What
groundnut.
kind of human being?
No, listen, because it's been a long time. And when I was eating, she was like, what's that? I'm like, it's Gary. Okay, have it. It's still up on my story. You guys
Your
can
daughter
check it
that
out.
grew up in Nigeria is eating Gary for the first
I
time.
don't eat Gary. I don't even, eba is not my thing. I prefer semo, fufu, or but Gary, it's a bit too, like it's Jimmy.
So-
Why would you like fufu over Gary? Over Eba?
Very rarely, but I would rather have fufu over Gary. But I wanted to know something. Are you going to translate this online comedian presence into something more tangible, like stand-up, for instance? Do you think?
I think they're way two different things. And I mean, personally, I still make people laugh, people around me, but going that far to be a stand-up comedian is just weird. I don't know.
Do you want to monetize it? Do you monetize it already as it is an online status?
Recently, I started doing that maybe 2 months ago because I just have, a lot of brands. They'll message me and say, hey, we want to work with you. And I'll be like, nah, cruise with the car. I don't even know what influencing means. That's not what I'm doing here. People just laugh at my tweets. And so a few people DM'd me like, that guy, we'll do Ritz card for you, we'll do everything. And they did it for me. And since then, I've gotten like maybe 4 or 5 different jobs. And
You know this thing you said about people offering to do stuff for you?
yes,
You coming to Nigeria, it's also helped.
yes,
While you were here, people
Yes.
just reach out and
yes,
they've been really supportive.
yes.
I must commend you though,
Yeah.
because what you do with your daughter is something that several fathers need to emulate, creating a personal relationship with your daughter.
Yes.
It's something I must commend you for. Well done on that.
Yeah, and I'm not, like, everything I do, it's not for anyone to emulate me or whatever. I'm just doing it because I want to and because, I just find the relationship with my daughter really, really interesting. But, I mean, I just wish more fathers can do more because
that's true.
it's not about just providing. You can actually do more.
He's so shy, he's looking down. This is not the chicken catcher on Twitter.
We want to see more of your work, your
Yeah.
content with Amaya. And of course, if you're hungry, and I bet you are, we've got something very interesting inside of the kitchen we'd like you to come and taste. So let's do a bit of his work, and then we'll be inside the kitchen when we get back.
Omo. Naija.
Ha 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 ha. Amaya, how you doing now? Yes, yes,
I
yes,
did.
yes, 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 yes,
Ha.
yes,
So okay.
Wow. 7G, jẹ́ kán mọ̀.
I love girl children. They're just so cute.
Yes, indeed. So
lovely.
welcome to the kitchen, a two-ball lion. Hopefully you won't swallow us all. Breakfast today is by Chef Georgette. And she's made fufu and afansu.
Okay.
You've had afansu before?
No.
You haven't?
Never had
This is your
afansu.
first time.
Are you serious? Wow.
You're in for a
treat.
treat. I love afansu.
This is more than
You're
a
going to
treat.
love this.
This is
Please,
a full,
dig
It's
in.
a full, full.
in.
This is a treatment.
That's with this.
That's very nice.
Ah.
I'm looking forward personally because I want to. There's plenty here. So I'm really wanting to dive in there and have some.
You don't dive in and, swim in it.
Yes, be swimming.
Yeah.
Oh, that is. Yes,
We're waiting for your feedback.
like it, love it.
The soup.
It's amazing. You think this is the one that Amaya would have loved?
She will eat
She was still not eating.
spicy
This
for her.
is spicy for her.
I would have preferred this with Eba though. I'm not.
There we go. Bring this Gary matter here again. I thought it died on the couch, but yes, it's your preference. But listen, man, thank
Well
you
done,
very
Chef
much for
George.
coming. Grand, it's all yours. You can have it, Chef. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
We're
much.
looking forward to diving in ourselves. It's a great Tuesday. It's been so far, and we're hoping that you'll join us again for tomorrow.
All right. You have a great day, people. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mike, say bye.
Mike,
$10.
Michael, $10 for you. No more Mexicano.
Bye-bye, everybody.